Hello. Texas elections are fully underway. Just got back from voting. This is part 3 of my quickest rundown of the propositions. Home stretch. This is going to be 12 through 17. So let's do this. Prop 12. Changing the State Judicial Conduct Commission. What does this mean? So this is going to change how we address when a judge does something unethical or abuses their power. It's going to give a review tribunal stronger tools to discipline judges. Some pros. It aims to hold judges more accountable. It'll make it easier to investigate misconduct and punish that. Some cons. This might open the door to political influence in what's supposed to be an impartial system, and could pressure judges to make popular decisions instead of lawful ones, in fear of discipline from the review tribunal. It doesn't explicitly state how this structure would work, and it might give Texas Supreme Courts too much power over judges. So you might vote yes if you like holding judges more accountable. It makes it easier to investigate misconduct and punish those judges. You might vote no because it may politicize what's supposed to be an impartial system, could pressure judges to make unlawful decisions, and we don't know how this structure would work. Prop 13. Increase school tax exemption for homeowners. Okay, so this is going to increase the amount of your home's value that is exempt from school property taxes from $100,000 to $140,000. Some pros, it's more savings for homeowners. Some cons, even less money for public schools. So with less funding, the question is, who reliably fills the gap for classrooms, teachers, programs, facilities? Who? And again, it affects tax reform. So vote yes if you like those tax breaks for homeowners. Vote no if you don't like that it's actively taking money away from public schools and that it complicates the tax system. Prop 14. Funding for dementia research and prevention. Okay, so this is going to create a $3 billion fund for research for Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, and other brain-related diseases, similar to the Texas Cancer Prevention Institute. Some pros. This has some structure. It's going to be modeled after what has been a successful Texas Cancer Prevention Institute and could make Texas a national leader in neurological sciences and healthcare research. It is a major investment in public health prevention and benefits a large percentage of households. It's future-focused with the hope to see a bigger impact in the future. So some cons. It is a substantial financial investment. A big investment like this needs great oversight. Maybe this shouldn't be such a big priority, while education and infrastructure is something that is a problem and has yet to be addressed in a reliable way. And private research exists from universities and organizations without needing state involvement and introducing more bureaucracy. So vote yes if you like the investment in public health. It is a large impact for a large amount of households. May not be immediately, but rather a long-term impact. Vote no, because it's a big chunker of investment. It's $3 billion. There are other priorities we need to address first, and this is an area that doesn't need state involvement. Prop 15. Codifying parental rights. This one's interesting. This is going to add language to the state constitution that states that parents have the right to direct the upbringing of their child. Some pros. This is going to give parents a voice in their child's education and care. Some cons. The language is so vague, too vague. It could be used to change inclusive school curriculum relating to race, gender, identity, and may also make it harder for the state to intervene in cases of abuse, neglect, or medical disputes. It can change the public health guidelines for disease prevention and vaccination. This may also be used to ban books that may be deemed harmful. So vote yes if you want more parental representation in schools. If your views don't line up with the school administration and you think parental voices would align better with community interests. So vote no, the sun's setting, because it's too vaguely worded and makes it highly susceptible to abuse, and may make it harder for intervention in cases of abuse, neglect, or medical disputes. This can be seen as targeting inclusive school curriculum and may affect public health guidelines, as well as leading to book bans. Prop 16. Clarifying citizenship requirements for voters. This restates the law. Only citizens may vote, and it creates an extra step to adjust it in the future. Some pros. It really cements this law, makes it harder to adjust. Some cons. It makes it harder to adjust if necessary, because it might be a bit misleading. Feeds voter fear and creates division, confusing voters into thinking that non-citizens can vote, which they cannot and have not been able to in the state of Texas. Overall, it seems a bit performative and adds to anti-immigration rhetoric. So vote yes if you like that it really cements this and makes it harder to revise. Vote no because it's unnecessary, limits flexibility in the future, feeds voter fear, creates division, it's performative, adds to harmful rhetoric, and overall just adds confusion. Prop 17. Property tax exemption for border security infrastructure. All right, let's get into it. This is going to provide tax relief to property owners if they build security infrastructures like walls, fences, barriers, other things. Some pros. It can compensate property owners for building on their land, and it encourages help for border security. So some cons. Property owners would have to spend their own money to build these structures on their land. It's not clearly stated what counts as infrastructure and may lead to inconsistent application as to who gets compensated, as well as it being abused. This only really applies to landowners in border counties, not across the state, so it's narrow in that scope. And digging a little bit deeper, it feels like it just reinforces and incentivizes extreme border policies. So vote yes for tax breaks for qualifying owners in border counties, and potentially more border security infrastructure. Vote no, because property owners have to spend their own money to build for these interests. It's unclear on what counts. It could be abused. It only applies to landowners in border counties, not across the state. And it adds to extremist border policies. Okay, there it is. All the propositions up for vote. So to not forget, save this, share it, check back to remind yourself before you vote. The wording on the ballot can be pretty confusing and a bit long-winded, so hopefully this helps you tie it back to something that might be a bit more understandable. So depending where you are, there are a few seats up for vote. In my experience, information for candidates weren't that easily accessible. I personally had to drive by my voting location, read the names on the signs, and look them up one by one. So keep yourself informed. I hope this helps. Good luck. Thank y'all.